The alien craft was bulky, and not for lack of efficiency. According to what little information could be gleaned about it, mostly guesswork, it was both highly effective in power usage and littered with weapons far more advanced than mankind had ever seen. Freedom Ender, it had been nicknamed by the US government. World Destroyer, Civilization Ruiner, whatever you called it seemed to blot out the sky with its immensity. As far as President Jonesy knew, it was a whole mobile city, packed with nothing but warriors and conquerors. My God. He slowly took off his sunglasses, squinting up at the craft as the sun's light glinted off it. It was almost as blinding as the star itself. Do you think they vote? His vice president stood next to him, in as much awe as the president was. What? He blinked several times, sweating visibly in the summer heat. If I can get them on board with those new... Whatever Jonesy had meant to say was cut off. The craft started to land, his sentence dying in his throat as all of his focus landed on the tall monster walking down the wide ramp. Probably wide enough to unload 1,000 troops at a time, Jonesy reckoned, with nothing but a single beast at its side. Where's the rest of them? Jonesy thought. He smiled, brushed himself off to wipe away the remnants of the burger he'd had on the way here. He didn't sloppily, more than a little shaky and overwhelmed. He brought Biscuit with him, a lovely black lab he'd carried with him all the way through election season into whatever the hell this was. He'd gotten Biscuit as a PR ploy, but now he couldn't let go of him. He was calming, always knew what to do to make things easier. Jonesy pet him without thinking as the alien approached. They told him he shouldn't bring Biscuit, that if he barked it might be a diplomatic incident. And Biscuit barked. The vice president tensed, adjusted his foot in case he needed to run. But the alien only paused for a second before continuing to walk forward. It was a real demon, 10 feet tall and with armor so thick it looked like a bug. All that could be seen of his actual features was a line of grey flesh under his helmet, puckered and so ruined by scars it was obvious, even without pulling it off, the alien had seen battle and lived many times. It loomed over the president, casting a great shadow. Jonesy swallowed. It spoke before he could. We have come for your resources. We could invade easily, but do not worry. There will be no conflict if you give us what we desire. It must have had some sci-fi translator doohickey. Okay, what do you want? Jonesy wasn't exactly in a position to argue. The alien slowly raised a gauntlet hand. Jonesy had been so distracted he'd almost forgotten the beast walking next to it, which he realized hadn't made any noise. Wait, did it disappear a bit ago? His line of thought died off. The monster was pointing at Biscuit. No, Jonesy said, immediately. Biscuit whined. The vice president began to faint, either from heatstroke or shock. Or maybe he started running and fallen. Jonesy was a bit busy trying to lock eyes with this freakish invader. Jonesy touched something on the underside of his watch. It was a cue, calling a secret sniper team to converge in this location. Stand real still, you alien son of a... Not the owned ones. Huh? Jonesy looked at the alien's animal companion now, fully. It was muscular, like it was made of thick wire and murder, almost as tall from sharp clawed paws to head as Jonesy was standing up. It seemed canine, sleek and bulky at the same time. It had something around its neck. A collar. Huh. Well, I'll be... Mr. President? Someone called Jonesy over an earpiece, startling him. What do we do? Jonesy had already decided. So, do you have a word for dog? Decades later, another representative of another major country on a different world stood in front of a tall, armored alien. It was a low-gravity world, but this otherworldly thing seemed to walk through the environment like it was a god coming down to judge its subjects. All that the local leader could see of its true frame was a line of scarred grey under its neck. The representative was so busy worrying over the inevitability of the monstrous outsider's fist, crushing for its frailer skeleton like a club through soft fruit, that the invader's question caught them well off balance. The invader spoke. There was a large, sleek, invisible-at-will beast at its side, along with over 300 different lifeforms that might have been the larger beast's distant or close kin. All of them had collars. All of them were armoured and equipped with mobility propulsion packs, and all of them barked the exact second before the invader spoke, sharply getting the representative's attention. The large one lagged a little behind, as if embarrassed somehow. "Do you have a word for dog?"